Hello and welcome back to r/EntitledParents, where parents go to extreme lengths to get what they think their children deserve. In today's video, an entitled dad attacks a Redditor who refuses to sell him his car, then tries to steal it. Let's see how that goes. So to start, some context. My state has a stand your ground law where if you feel you or someone else's life is in danger, you have the right to defend yourself. This is the one story I don't tell often, but I felt the need to talk about it. I legally conceal carry a Glock 19 9mm pistol. The main reason I do is because my city has a very high crime rate. When I got my permit, I never thought I'd have to use my carry in any way, shape, or form. Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it kind of deal. Well, one day, I just got done shopping at my local Walmart and was unloading things into my car, which I had just bought the week before. It's a 2018 Honda Civic Sport. Not the fanciest car in the world, but my mechanic friend and I messed with it a bit and it looks decent yet sporty. As I was loading my things, a man approached me. He was a gym rat type, but a little older. Maybe late 30s, extremely muscular, about 6 foot. I myself am 20, 6'4", and fairly toned, but not bulky. So he walked up to my car with the most shit-eating grin I've seen and starts asking me about it. I tell him some of the stuff I've done to it. It's really not that special, just a bit faster than stock, and he asks if he could buy it off me for his son who's about to be 16. Here's how the conversation goes. Entitled Dad: so bro, have you ever thought about selling it? Me: not really, I just bought it last week, so I don't really want to. Dad: damn bro, I was gonna ask if I could buy it off of you. My son turns 16 soon and I want to give him a cool ass car like yours. Sorry dude, I can't just sell it, then I'd have no car. Dad: come on man, I'll give you a good price, how's 10 grand sound? Keep in mind that this is a $23,000 car stock. Like I said man, no sale, especially with a lowball like that. I chuckle. At this point, Entitled Dad starts to get visibly angry and I just want to go home. You call that a lowball, dude? This car isn't worth more than that no matter what you do to it. I need this car for my son, man. The answer is no. Get lost. At this point, I open my door to get in, and Entitled Dad grabs my left arm, which probably saved my life here and my car since my pistol is holstered on my right hip, and pins my body against my car. And then, in that sort of whisper yelling tone, Entitled Dad says, "No one tells me no. Now you're gonna give me this car or I'm gonna take it from you, pussy." I can see the roid rage in his eyes, so I quickly move my right hand to my holster and draw my pistol. Get the fuck off me, bitch, right now. Adding, if you saw my Chipotle post, this is me using the terrifying voice that the military has given me. I now have my pistol pressed against his head, and I know that if he doesn't let go, I will have to use force. He slowly lets go and takes a small step back. I still have my weapon drawn and it's still pointed at him, but my finger is now off the trigger. Keep in mind, this part all happened in a matter of seconds. Entitled Dad, looking out the corner of his eye with the gun pressed against his head, says, "Alright man, you drive a hard bargain," with his hands raised slightly. I say, "Now turn around and walk away. Now." He turns and walks away like nothing happened, and even has the nerve to say, "Have a good one, bro." I reholstered my pistol and got in my car and started to drive off, but I parked in the next parking lot to just kinda calm down. It's a terrifying thing to have to draw a weapon on someone, and I hope no one ever has to do it themselves. But I will always fight for what is mine. And to be honest, this dude is very lucky I have great discipline, because if it was anyone else who was carrying, he could have been dead in that parking lot. And with the CCTV, it would have been justified. And to this guy's kid, I say this, but I honestly think he was just trying to mug me. I hope your dickhead dad found a car for you and didn't hurt anyone to get it. So in conclusion, don't try to force someone to give you something, because you never know how they're gonna fight back. And then at the bottom of the post, he's attached a picture of himself with the car, and I'll tell you one thing. This does not look like a $10,000 car. I don't think anyone is going to look at this car and think, yeah, 10 grand sounds about right. That seems like a logical amount of money. So since that story was kind of short, here's another one. To start, some background. Where I live, the city council has passed an ordinance banning all vehicles, including bicycles, from parks with areas under a certain square meters due to previous accidents. Simply put, if it's a smaller park, you cannot ride a bike in there. There are signs posted here and there in each park stating the applicable rules. Granted, some people ignore the vehicle ban and still ride bikes in smaller parks, and others tend to turn a blind eye provided the cyclist doesn't cause any trouble. But basically, one can get fined for cycling where it's not allowed. So, this afternoon my family decided to go to a nearby park, obviously not big enough to allow bikes. While we were having snacks, a kid, about 5 or 6 years old, on her bike dashed towards our direction and only stopped a few inches before us. I have only escaped a car crash less than 2 weeks ago, so this made me very nervous. But before my husband or I could say anything, the kid rode off. I looked and found out her whole family of 4 were cycling. No idea why they chose this park of all places. I mean, this park is small and the ground surface uneven, but whatever floats their boat, I guess. We decided to just finish our snacks and leave because I was already feeling uncomfortable. Before we could do that, the kid approached us again, this time on foot, so my guards were down. Next thing I knew, she freaking screamed in my and my child's right ears. My child was in my lap and legit terrified by this sudden shriek. "Please stop," I said sternly as my husband comforted our child. "It's hurting our ears." Then the kid went wailing to her parents as if I had just snatched her favorite teddy bear and torn it in half. Cue Raging Cyclists Family Squad. The entitled dad says, "What the hell have you done to my daughter?" To which I responded, I asked her to please stop screaming in my ear. Then the mom says, "She's just a little child. You didn't have to be so mean. You could have said it nicely." I said please. If that's not nice enough, enlighten me. At this point, I'm pissed enough to unlock my phone because I could tell this wasn't going to end well. The dad says to the kid, "Oh, don't worry, baby. Mommy and daddy got your back." The mom, taking it up a notch, says, "Bitch, you need to apologize for scaring our daughter now." At this point, I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm recording this. One more obscenity and you could consult your lawyer about slander." I'm not bluffing. There have been cases where one sues and wins for being called obscenities in public. I also happen to know that, at least where I live, recording a public exchange is perfectly legal provided A, I am part of it, B, the other involved parties have been informed, and C, that I don't use the footage for other than personal or legal purposes. My husband, with his phone in his hand, says, "Please leave us alone or I'll have to call the cops." To which the mom reasonably responds, "What, you think you own this park?" Entitled dad says to entitled mom, "Let's go. Talking to these rotten jerks is just a waste of our time." I've told you, I'm recording this. First bitch, then rotten jerks. Prepare for some court time, honey. At this point, my husband is calling the cops. The entitled mom says, "Ha! Go ahead. I'll tell the cops, you filthy b****s assaulted my daughter." Long story short, cops arrived, checked footage from both my phone and the park surveillance cameras, took our statements. The family got a ticket for violating the ordinance, plus a warning against making false accusations, then got escorted out of the park. I had a belated panic attack after that. Still haven't decided whether I want to press charges because suing in this case seems somewhat extreme, but hopefully I will never see them again. Now, just to clarify, because you may be wondering how you could pursue legal charges for slander for obscenities, so they have this edit at the bottom of the post. Saw a comment saying, "How is this a slander case?" So I decided to explain a bit. I don't live in the US, so if you're wondering, in which part of the US can you sue for being called a bitch? The answer is you can't. Allow me to not specify my location though. Let me just say the justice system here is a bit crazy. It really does boggle the mind how these entitled parents somehow interpret "please stop" as some sort of attack on their child. Entitled parents really will go to any length to protect their spoiled children, won't they? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story. As usual, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if anyone has a nice car that they want to give to me, my son could really use it. And I definitely 100% have a son, and I'm not just trying to mug you. That's not what's going on here. So just make sure you subscribe and give me your car. Okay? So I'll see you in the next one.